It's Codemaster, and this is video from a brand new series where I teach you how to learn the basics of C#. Now to get started, we're going to have to come to your project scene here and right click and hover over create and click on C# script. And once you do that, you can select a name for your script, but I've already done that. And if you double click on your script, it will bring you into something called mono develop. And this is what should show up for you. And at first, you're going to be reading the public class, and it says stuff. That's the name I named my script. And that's what your script name is. That's where it would be. And then these are these two voids, void start and void update. You don't need to worry about those for now, so you can delete them. And delete that. And in this video, I'm going to be teaching you about different types of variables. There's a public variable and a private variable. And in this video, I'm just going to be showing you about the public variable. But the difference between the public variable and the private variable is with the public variable, you can access it from different scripts and it will show in the inspector when you go back into Unity, and I'll explain that more later on. But the private variable, it won't show in the inspector in Unity, and you cannot access it from other scripts. But right now, we don't need the private variable. Now, there's three different types of also variables. There's integers, there's floats, and there's bools. So a public integer, you would just type in public int, and that's short for integer. And then you can just give it a name like health and make it equal 100. And this doesn't count as a line of code because I don't have a semicolon at the end, so I'm going to add that right now. And on all your lines of code in C#, you have to add a semicolon, or else it doesn't count as a line of code. So an integer is pretty much just a number or a value that you can use. And another type of variable is float. So you type in public float, and you can give it a name like lives equals like 100.0 semicolon. And the reason I put the decimal point there is because a float number is a decimal place value number. And the reason, and I screwed up here, I have to put F at the end of the number for float because it stands for float. And I put the semicolon there so it counts as a line of code. Now the next variable is bool. And a public bool is a true or false statement. So you can name this public bool true or false. And for you put equal sign, and you can either write true semicolon or false semicolon. I'm just going to put true semicolon for now. So these three variables are pretty close alike. The int and the float are both numbers or values, and the bool is a true or false value. Public game object. So if I typed in public public game object with the G and the O capitalized, and if I named it object, and then all you have to do is put a semicolon and it counts. So public game object is object, but I can't name it object because that's another function in C#, so I'll just name it player, and that'll work. And I can show you all this in the inspector because it is public. So to save your script, you just have to hold Control S and it will save it. And if you come back into Unity and let it compile, and you click on your script in your project scene here, it will show it in the inspector. See, we have the public int, our public float, our public bool, and a public game object. And to use this on an object, all you have to do is come to your hierarchy and create an object. So I'm just going to create a cube. I showed you guys how to do this in my other episodes of my other series called Unity Basics. So if you don't know how to do this, go check it out. And then if we just drag the script from here onto our cube, if you have your cube selected, it will show that we have our health value here, our lives value, our true or false statement. You can check that or check it off to make sure it's true or false. in our player, which is a game object. We don't have an object to drag onto that, so I'm not going to do that right now. But that's all I wanted to show you guys for this episode. And if you guys want more, please like and subscribe, and see you next time.